Hello everyone, welcome back to Durbanites FPL Game Week 33 review, Game Week 34 preview. This is a big blank game week, guys. Very few games to choose from, but let's jump in to see what happened in the double game week in Game Week 33. Here's the table. Suat, the first one to breach 2,000 points with 5 game weeks to go. 93 this week, really good, but a lot of big 3-figure points there. We're going to discuss that a little bit later. Almost everyone doing really well. Mubin jumping into 10, and look at it, just behind him, the other champion, 125 this week. Mohamed Sadiq doing really well. Everything is getting a bit tighter now towards the top, as you can see. Right in the middle, also big fights happening. Let's see how things are going to be impacted in the next 5 weeks. Looking at the cup, so with the results from Game Week 33, these are the teams that have got by. So Pots and Pans, myself, Bruce Fati, RoboClub, Are You Sure with Zakia there, Dora the Scorer, Asra, Zai, Mubin, Atta, and Mohamed Sadiq, the reigning champion, 2 times cup champion. And these are the Game Week 34 matchups. So Ami is taking on My Pie. Then we've got Zahra taking on Umair. Then we've got Fatih taking on the second team. Then we've got Hassan versus Ansu. And then finally, we've got Zahru versus Didi. So siblings at the top, siblings at the bottom. These are the teams that have to fight it out to make it into the round of 16, which will kick off next weekend. So this weekend, you're not just playing for the league, guys. You're playing for the cup as well. Looking at the player selections over the last week, of course, very varied. Erling Haaland made it back because of the double game week. 90% ownership meant that he was very popular. Anton Semenyo still holding at 75. Marcus Senesi with Bournemouth's double jumping up to 60. Look at the differentiators this week. A lot of double figures in that squad. Krupi Jr., Ollie Watkins, Ethan Empadu, and Jorginho Rutter just owned by 1 manager each. Jakob Joel, Noah Okafor, and Ryan Cherki joining Maxence Lacroix. All of them owned by 2 managers, and all of them getting into double figures. Really good picks for those managers as well. Pedro Porro and Pascal Gross both coming in with 3 managers, giving them double figures as well. Nico Riley having another fantastic double game week, and Jean-Paul van Heck also coming in with 13 points there from Brighton. 45% of managers choosing in that double game week. A lot of free hits there, so I don't expect that this will last very long. Now, jumping into the hits and misses, look at that. So many to talk about. We're going to talk about the big ones. Firstly, the Centurions, 100 plus points breached. Atta, Zai, Mubin, and Mohamed Sadiq this week, all of them reaching 100 plus points. Fantastic play on the free hits for those that used it, and a bench boost by Mobs as well. Titanium walls there for Zax, Zai, Ami, and Fatih, 40 plus points from there. Also, golden boots for myself, Sai, Mohamed Sadiq, and Mohamed Amin. So, really picking up big points there on the strikers. And Mohamed Sadiq really coming good in this week. Picked up the century, picked up the stone wall, picked up the striker, and picked up the midfield maestro. 50 plus points from there. No wonder he's got 125. Outstanding performance this week. Also, funnily enough, also hit a miss with more than 19 points sitting on the bench. Myself, Sai, and Mohamed Sadiq. So he could have gone much more if he was able to play his bench boost on top of it. Unfortunately, he could not, but a lot of points on show this weekend. Now, what does that mean for the selection for the team? Look at that. Verbruggen gets the number 1 jersey, Donnarumma on the bench because of price. Lacroix, Van Heck, and Nico Riley getting the back line, putting Pedro Porro and Jakob Bijol on the bench. 5 across that midfield, Cherki, Okafor, Pascal Gross getting the captain's armband, Jorginho Rutter and Ethan Empadu, all of them getting into the midfield. Ollie Watkins doing really well to jump into the front line alongside Erling Haaland, putting Krupi Jr. on the bench. This team would have got you 158, but with a bench boost, 196 if you were lucky enough to get that. Total cost 89.6, so a very affordable team, even though a lot of them will not play this week, so I wouldn't advise you to do that. But guys, with that, let's look at the matchups for this week. As you can see, game week 34, a lot of blanks. Based on that, these are the picks that we have. Aston Villa have a fairly good run in for the next 3 games at least. Looking at Everton as well, still some good games to come, but City is a blocker along the way. Leeds have a very good setup of games, but not playing this week, so just be very careful of that. Spurs might be back. Now, I know they're fighting relegation out of 18th, but they've been boosted by Rodrigo Betancourt coming back. James Maddison is back, and he's a very good creative um, midfielder and also one that can be really influential in set pieces. Now, if he plays alongside Xavi Simons, that could make the biggest difference for Spurs coming up against Wolves this week. Leeds going forward. I know they've got tough games against Chelsea, Everton, and Aston Villa, but Chelsea themselves are facing their own demons right now. So Spurs might have a chance to pull off the great escape. Let's see how that will work. Sunderland have a fairly good run in towards the end as well and are looking really safe in 12th position. Wolves, of course, and Burnley already relegated. So Wolves already relegated. They have fairly good runs, but not really looking at recommendations from the Wolves side as we're not sure which way they will go. Now, based on that, let's look at the lineup, starting with the back line. Vicario is out for Spurs and Mamadashvili is out for Liverpool as well. So Alisson might play, but we're not really sure, so we've left him out from the selections. But Pickford for Everton is a good pick for this week, and Kinski for Spurs against Wolves might be a good pick as well for this particular week. Arsenal trying to make sure that they can keep pace with Manchester City. I'm missing Jurriën Timber for sure, and Ricardo Calafiori's picked up a knock. Chelsea themselves have some issues with Colwell and James out, but Chaloba's back. Newcastle facing similar issues for taking on Arsenal this week. Fabian Schär is out, Livramento is out as well. Guardiola and Ruben are out for City, but they are not playing this week. Manchester United still without Dogu, and Cuti Romero is still out for Spurs. But from the choices, again, Spurs, Van de Ven and Pedro Porro are the options that we're going for. Mukiele, Alderete or Ballard, your choice on Sunderland's defenders. Luca Digne and Matty Cash still the ones that we're punting for Aston Villa. Tarkowski at Everton and Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool. Looking at the midfield, Kudus is still out at Spurs, but more importantly, Betancourt, Madison are back. Merino is still out at Arsenal as well. Saka is still doubtful, but may be forced to play. Madueke is still doubtful as well, but did play last week against City, so might play again. Grealish is out for the season for sure. Anthony Gordon, unfortunately, is out and might be back later in May. Stash is doubtful for Leeds, but of course not playing this week. Brian Mbeumo's picked up a knock for Manchester United, so not sure if he will start. Cunha is also struggling with a groin issue, but might be fit enough to play, so he's not made the list. And Esteban went off early for Chelsea in the 3-0 drubbing at Brighton. But the choices here around Aston Villa, who have a fantastic game this week and better fixtures to come. So Morgan Rogers, Douglas Luiz, and John McGinn. Then Enzo Lefebvre is one of the creative midfielders out of Sunderland that we might want to have a look at. Calling out James Maddison for Spurs, Matthias Tal and Xavi Simons. Honestly, feel that these guys could make a difference if they manage to hit the ground running. Morgan Gibbs-White for Nottingham Forest, Crescencio Somerville for West Ham, Dewsbury Hall and Dwight McNeil for Everton this week with a good fixture as well. And then Florian Wirtz for Liverpool if you're looking for a differentiator. Right up at the forwards, as you can see, Ekitike is out for the season, it looks like. Eddie Nketiah is also out for Crystal Palace, and Better was now joined the list as well, out for Everton, unfortunately. Not sure if Alexander Isak is the one that you're looking for. We've not recommended him because Liverpool are definitely still struggling. But we've got Igor Thiago up at Brentford. The pairing of Ollie Watkins and Tammy Abraham Aston Villa were doing really, really well in Europe and domestically. Nick Woltemade to try and take on Arsenal this week, especially in the absence of Anthony Gordon, who otherwise usually plays as the centre forward. Then you've got Jared Bowen for West Ham, Kai Havertz and Victor Gyökeres for Arsenal. And the reason why we recommend them, guys, not because of any fantastic form, but that Arsenal has to score goals in order to keep pace with Manchester City. Just winning will not be enough. They need to have goals come in. So I expect that Arsenal will go with a very attacking formation or suffer the consequences. And at Spurs, Richarlison and Solanke, not sure who will get the nod to start and who will come on as a sub, but both can be very influential players. And then at Sunderland is Brian Brobby is the one that we're recommending. So, guys, a very short timeline. It is a Friday deadline, and just roughly 2 hours before the decision has to be made. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop us a comment, and let us know who's winning the league title this year. And let us know what you think about the blank game week coming up. Until then, don't forget to like, subscribe, and make your changes by 7:30 p.m. So long for now.